Hello, I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you all. Okay, so I wanted to elaborate on the whore Babylon. Who is the whore of Babylon and why does it matter? Okay, so I'm going to pull some information from gospelcoalition.org. If I remember when I upload this video, I will put this website in the comment section. You know, I always say I'm gonna put it in the comment section, but I'll be forgetting, y'all. But anyways, I just uploaded two messages. Uh, two messages talking about Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel 2. On a video to say 2 of 2, I talked about how Babylon is still have authority. Even though Babylon was taken over by the other kingdoms, Babylon was still a prominent kingdom, even to this day, in the world and even in the church. And I said that based on, God gave King Nebuchadnezzar something that, or the Babylonian Empire, something that the other empires did not receive. For one thing, he said he have made Nebuchadnezzar, and as a glory, power, might. Then he labeled him as King of Kings. So there was something different that God gave the king of Babylon that he didn't give the other empires. So I came to the conclusion to, and even considering Revelation 17, where it say the mystery Babylon, the mother of prostitutes, something like that in Revelation 17. So I came to the conclusion that Babylon is still a prominent ruling power that's still in the world today. Okay, so I found this article. How I stumbled up on this article, I don't know, but I was looking at something else and this came up. And I felt like this would give me more understanding and would give you more understanding because, like I told you, God told me eschatology. He wanted me to study the end time things. He wanted me to really get a revelation of the end time things and so forth and so on. So that is what I'm more, that is what God got me more focused on. Now, because everything ain't came in its fullness to me yet, I might say some things is not, it probably be partially correct, but not all the way correct. But if I do, I will come back in another video. That's why you can't listen to one video and then try to get all that God is telling me, because God is giving me things in a pieces, just like he's giving everybody else things in pieces. Now I know this book we got, this Bible we got is a whole book, right? So, but even this Bible, it's not order of which it will make it easier for me to understand. Like this Bible is not in order, so you have to go and figure out this and that or whatever, and then based on the prophetic word that God give you personally, that will help you to maneuver through the Bible more easily. Well, I know that it helped me maneuver through more easily. Okay, so who is the whore of Babylon and why does it matter? CA dot the Gospel Coalition .org. Okay, I'm gonna read word from word. Okay, it says the book of Revelation is like an art gallery filled with pictures painted in colors borrowed from Old Testament canvases. If you want to understand the whore of Babylon, you have to go way back into the biblical story. In the Old Testament, the city of Babylon gave birth to an empire that ruled the known world and imposed a worldwide upon impose a worldview upon all of the people that she conquered. Those she did not destroy, she subverted. She could be brutal. She could be brutal, callous, and proud, and she believed that she will reign over the earth forever. She said in her heart, I am, and there is no one beside me. I shall not sit as a widow or know the loss of children. That's in Isaiah 47:8. She spoke as a god, and she thought herself secure. Her destruction is announced in Isaiah 47 in response to her wickedness, arrogance, self-indulgence, and brutality toward the people of God. The Lord announces sudden doom. But evil shall come upon you, which you will not know how to charm away. Let me go back and read. And brutally toward the people of God, and the Lord announces sudden doom. He announces the doom in Isaiah 47:11. Which says, but evil shall come upon you, which you will not know how to charm away. Disaster shall fall upon you, for which you will not be able to atone. And ruin shall come upon you suddenly, of which you know nothing. And so it was. History tells us that the Babylonian Empire fell very suddenly and very unexpectedly to the Persian under Cyrus the Great in 539 BC. Later, when Darius was king, the Babylonians revolted unsuccessfully, and as a consequence, they experienced many of the same brutalities they had previously inflicted upon the Jews. The Babylonians themselves strangled many of their wives and children to keep them from starving to death during the brutal siege of their capital city. When the city fell, Herodotus says that the gates were pulled down and 3,000 of the leading citizens were impaled upon the walls. The once great city, the queen of the world, was defeated, devastated, and despoiled. Just like God said, Babylon next appears in the biblical narrative about 630 years later. The former seat of the empire is now a village surrounded and nearly swallowed by sea of sand, and yet her name begins to reappear in the New Testament canon as a symbol of the world at war with the people God. It's supposed to be people of God. Peter uses it as a sort of code. He ends his epistle to the churches of Pontus and Bithynia by saying, she who is at Babylon, and this is 1 Peter 5:13-14, says, she who is at Babylon, who is likewise chosen, sends you greetings, and so does Mark, my son. Greet one another with a kiss of love. Peace to all of you who are in Christ. She who is Babylon. Peter was now near Babylon when he wrote that letter. Peter was in Rome, but he uses the word Babylon as a symbolic way of inferring to the New World culture at war with the covenant community. Peter is saying Rome is the new Babylon. Rome is the new mistress who would seduce and subvert the people of God. But still, if that spirit, that Babylonian spirit is still there, Babylon is still prominent in today's civilization, in today's society. The city had become a spirit. See, the city had become a spirit. Her final appearance in the narrative comes in Revelation 17. In the book of Revelation, the reference to Babylon is obviously symbolic. John is carried away in the spirit into the wilderness where he saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that was full of blasphemous names, and it had 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and jewels and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup of abominations and the impurities of her sexual immorality. You know what? Because some things that God has given me recently, it takes me back when it said about a woman sitting on a scarlet beast that's full of blasphemous names. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet. The city of Tyre, okay, They was famous. They was known for their purple dye. So keep that in mind, because I'm going to talk about the city of Tyre when I talk about something else. Uh, you know what? Like, I asked God, this is what I asked God. I asked God to show me who people is. Show me people. And how the Lord is showing me people by taking me through the Bible. He's really showing me them that way, like taking me through the Bible and giving me revelation that way. And you know, if God's trying to give me revelation about somebody, and he gives me revelation about, and how he's trying to give me revelation about them is taking me to the city to learn about the city of Tyre. Okay. It's like, God, like, how I'm gonna break this down? God actually have done it just recently. And it's like, God, how I'm gonna break this down? But it's you know, Google is that thing. YouTube is a thing. I know that on Google, you can get on there, you can, it got everything under the sun on Google. And I know you can get on YouTube, it got everything under the sun. Things that will help you, but things that will pervert you. But thank God for these two wonderful resources, because it have helped me a lot. Because I'm like, God, like, how do I relate this to a person? Anyways, let me continue. So the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet and adorned with gold and jewels and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the impurities of her sexual immorality. And on her forehead was written the name of a name of mystery, Babylon the Great, mother of prostitutes and the earth's abomination. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints, the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. That's Revelation 17, 3-6. The whore of Babylon is the spirit of seduction, of seductive culture, actively engaged in the deception and destruction of God's people. That is so true in this world today. That is true in the church. That is true in the world as a whole. And people on the inside of the church, people on the outside of the church. That she rides upon the beast means she is propped up by the forces of anti-Christian government. Just like the beast who was and is not and is about to rise, the whore keeps on rising from the dead. A particular brand of her seduction charm may fall into the dust and be buried by the sands of time. But just you wait. Before you know it, she will rise again in another place, known by another name, but waging the same destructive war against God's covenant people. But the beautiful thing, I mean, he said that, but God said his kingdom will rise, and his kingdom will never be destroyed. Now, this ain't going to happen just in 1 week or 10 years or 20 years. I'm not going to say, but God's kingdom going to gradually rise. I told y'all that rock hit the feet of the statue. So God is, God is working on his people's behalf and bringing them into his truth more and more and more and more. Like, it's a gradual thing. It's not going to happen, like I said, all at once, but it will happen. As it was in the past, so shall it be in the future. While scholars may debate some of the fine details of the particular vision, the main points of application seems abundantly clear. Culture is not neutral. The devil attacks God's people via the front door through governmental persecution. That is so true. The devil attacks God's people via the back door through seductive, idolatrous culture. That is true. I remember I uploaded a video about a drug deal gone bad. I said, I went into this person's house and they had the back door open. So this give me a greater understanding. I will say that again. The devil attacks God people via the front door through government mental persecution. I've seen that firsthand. The devil attacks God people via the back door through seductive, idolatrous culture. No enemy of God's people will finally stand. The Lord has a day, and that day is coming. Thanks be to God. Pastor Paul Carter is the man that I believe that put this message together, this vlog together. So his name is, once again, Pastor Paul Carter. And at the end, it give you biography about him. So yes, it tells you about the Whore of Babylon and why it matters to learn about the Whore of Babylon. And it do matter because, I mean, also just recently I received something about Revelation 17. And yeah. So you all, I hope that cleared that part up as it relates to my video 2 of 2 when they talk about Nebuchadnezzar 2, and I was talking about Nebuchadnezzar, or the Babylonian Empire is on that statue the head of gold. And I said that Babylonium still is prominent, still have some ruling authority in this earth realm today. And why might that be, considering Babylon was overtaken by one Medo-Persia, I believe, is because, like he said, the spirit of Babylon is ruling through Rome, the Roman Empire, which is the legs of iron. So you all be blessed. If you have any more information that you want to leave about this particular topic, I will personally leave the comment section open so you all can put your comments. Be blessed. Grace and peace.